seminar entitled Establishing Digital Human Resource Management and Positive Organizational Behavior. Special sincere thanks I deliver to Professor Dr. Mohsin Sheikh. Hello, from ASM Institute of Professional Studies, Pune, India. Welcome, Sheikh. You are already here. Thank you. Also, Professor Dr. Heru Kurnianto Cahyono. Thank you for your delivery subject this morning, Prof. Heru. As a professor of human resource management at PhD in Management Postgraduate Program, Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. I also don't forget to thank Mr. Punam Amaripuja, Master of Information Technology. He is also finishing his doctoral degree in University Islam Indonesia, who is very helpful in this international seminar and as well as a moderator. Also, thanks and welcome to students and all participants. And let's start this international seminar with Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our honorable speakers and all participants, our PhD in management program is relatively a new program at Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. It has been just 2 years. Right now, we have 34 students right now. 28 from Indonesia or our domestic or local students, 28, and 6 foreign students. So the total number of our PhD in management program right now is 36 students. So our curriculum requires organizing various academic activities, including this international seminar is part of our academic activities in PhD in management program. And also our incoming visiting professor program is also continued from the first opening program. We did here our professor from UNITEM, University Technical Malaysia, Professor Samsuri, and Professor Muhammad Sofian from University Malaysia Sarawak, and then Professor Hans Ritter from Germany, and right now Professor Mohsin from India. The international workshop aims to broaden our student insight into management from expert and practitioners. At this moment, we have tremendous speakers who are no doubtfully very expert in this field. The international seminar topic right now is establishing digital human resource management and positive organizational behavior. Klaus Schwab, the founder of World Economic Forum, WEF, in his book Industrial Revolution 4.0, argues that we are now entering the turbulence of destructive era. All aspects of life have been touched by the internet, which is called IoT, Internet of Things. No space is free now from the touch of data, called era big data or data cloud. The change of the world in the digital age should be taken for granted for us, not on the contrary, it hurts us. As we know, in Indonesia itself, for 10 years from now, about 27 millions unemployment will be produced as the result of technology or industrial revolution 4, even 5.0. But this technology also create new employment bigger than unemployment. So we have to take granted for this. Employment right now is for the digital generation, not for the baby boomers generation anymore. So far for the colonial generation. You know, colonial generation is generation were born before Second World War. And the generation were born about 60s, like me. I was born in 1963, is called baby boomers. And the generation or the employment right now is for digital generation. The generation who were born after 90s to 20s. Okay, the digital generation is born after the 90s, and baby boomer were born after Second World War. The colonial era has now disappeared from circulation. Today's seminar would discuss establishing digital human resource management in answering the challenge and demand of the digital generation workforce. The social order that is distracted by the digital generation lifestyle tends to be harmful or could produce misbehavior in working. So the topic would be exciting to be discussed by two experts. One more, I believe the seminar will give students insight into the field of human resource management and organizational behavior or positive organizational behavior. Thank you very much for all of your kindness attention, and enjoy the seminar and stay tuned until the seminar is finished. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay,
Waalaikumsalam
please, Mr.
warahmatullahi
Kunang.
wabarakatuh.
Okay.
Thank you, Prof. Siswayo. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, we can gather here today on this rather rainy morning in Yogyakarta, and we would be having a seminar, international seminar for establishing digital HR management and positive organizational behavior. First, I would like to congratulate the leadership and the staff of the doctoral program of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta for arranging this seminar and for being able to gather so many people together under this one academic roof. This is no easy feat because we are, of course, in a pandemic. So unfortunately, we cannot meet together in person, but alhamdulillah, we can meet online. And this experience actually is also part of what we would be talking about in a large window about the digital age, about Internet 4.0. Now, at first, we would have thought that the Internet might have an effect on the way we interact with people, like emails and so on. But it seems that there are so many disruptions that have resulted in the digital age, in Internet 4.0, and even they say that it's era 5.0 now, Industrial Revolution 5.0. And then there are several disruptions. It seems that it's a continuous disruption era. Later on, we can see that there are several disruptions that happens in front of us, and we have to be prepared for all of that. Now, two topics that are interesting to talk about would be presented by Professor Mohsin Shaikh and Professor Heru Kurnianto Cahyono. So the internet, the digital age is very ubiquitous, and it has affected all matters of life, including in business and corporations. The first presentation by Professor Mohsin Shaikh would be talking about digital human resources management. We are managing human resources not just in a traditional way, but we have to continue trying to manage human resources in a more digitized way. And Professor Mohsin Shaikh would be exploring the opportunities and the challenges that we would be facing in this era in the area of human resources management. And the next presentation would be delivered by Professor Heru Kurnianto Cahyono. He would be deliberating on leadership and positive organizational behavior, especially in the digital era. Now, this might be a topic that we have often overlooked because we would be thinking digital era and so on would be more on the technical sides, but he would be talking about how leadership copes in this era, because there are many changes in the way organizations work and also how the employees and the leaders work also in those companies. Now, for our first presentation, the presentation on digital human resources management, opportunities and challenges, would be presented by Professor Mohsin Shaikh. I would like to explain a little about Professor Mohsin Shaikh. So Professor Mohsin Shaikh acquired his MBA and PhD from the University of Pune, and he obtained his MA in public administration from the University of Madras. And up to now, he has for over 22 years been teaching postgraduate students at various management institutions, especially under the University of Pune, Shivaji University, and Bharati Vidyapith BMed University. And he has published several research papers in reputed journals and presented papers in various national and international conferences. And he has also been recognized as a research guide at the University of Pune. He has also trained in case method of teaching in Harvard University Business School, the United States, and also a certified CSR professional from ICSI and NSDC. His specific area of expertise is human resources management, strategy and entrepreneurship, and also in industrial psychology, organizational behavior, and business research methods, of which Professor Shaikh has authored several books on. He is also a life member of professional bodies, for instance, like the International Society for Development and Sustainability, or ISDS in Japan, and other professional bodies as well. In terms of exposure, he has been visiting Rwanda, Indonesia, and Iran for academic assignments. And he has been also a visiting professor at the Yogyakarta State University, Indonesia. And currently, Professor Shaikh is teaching at the ASM Group of Institutes, Institutes of Professional Studies, Pune, India. With this background as an introduction, I would like to welcome Professor Shaikh, and I would like to invite Professor Shaikh to present his paper for 20 to 30 minutes, of which the next 20 to 30 minutes would be deliberated by Professor Heru Cahyono, and then the last 30 minutes for questions and answers. Please, Professor Shaikh, I would like to invite you to present your paper. Professor Shaikh, the time is yours.
Thank you very much for your kind and a lovely introduction. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First of all, I would like to thank the head of the doctoral program, Professor Dr. Sivoyo. And I would also like to thank Professor Ika Nurul Kamari for giving me this opportunity to present the concept of digital human resource management to this audience. So, this concept of digital human resource management is now being discussed and deliberated across the organizations. Everyone is talking about digital. Everyone is talking about digitalization. Everyone is talking about the electronic human resource management, EHRM, digital HRM, digitalization of the human resource management. However, we need to understand what exactly is this concept of digital human resource management. What are the challenges the organizations face in implementing digital human resource management processes and systems in the organization? Also, what are the various opportunities that are available or that are there to explore for the organization? And also, we need to understand the role of the human resource managers, the human resource executives in the organization as to how they can implement this particular concept of digital human resource management in the organization. And finally, we need to understand that for any successful implementation of any concept or any process, any initiative, any strategy in the organization, we need the support, help, and the vision of the top management, and we require a strong leadership. So in today's session, we will be discussing in brief about the exact concept of human resource management, that is digital human resource management. What are the challenges that are faced, and what are the opportunities in this field of digital human resource management? And lastly, we will also discuss that what are the leadership qualities that are required in order to successfully implement the concept of digital human resource management in the organization. So we'll start with the concept of digital human resource management. I hope the screen, are you able to see the screen? Is the screen visible?
Yes, we can see.
So the first important aspect is, let us understand that what is this digital human resource management or digitalization of human resource management, digital transformation, digital disruptions that we hear about. Now these terms, digital human resource management, digitalization, digital transformation, digital disruptions, these are the topics that are being discussed in the boardrooms of all the organizations. Now, one important aspect is that these terms, they denote a increasing use of technology and the changes in business and society. So one thing you should understand, that all these concepts that we are talking about, their focus is on the increased use of technology in the organization. More and more technology is being used in the organization. Organizations are adapting different tools, different technological tools for carrying out their business. Now, this is also true for the human resource management domain. Now, when organization as a whole, they are making use of different tools, techniques, different technologies are being used, different technologies are being used for carrying out business. Similarly, this will also have an impact on the human resource domain. Now, since human resource management is a part and parcel of the entire organization, and when the organization is using technology for carrying out its business, therefore, human resource management will also be impacted by the use of technology by the organization. Now, digitalization, as we understand, is not only related to the organization, it is also related with the other domains also. When an organization is adopting technology as a whole, then naturally all the other domains, we have to use the technology in the marketing domain, we need to use technology in the finance domain, we need to use the technology in the operations domain, we need to use technology in the supply chain, we need to use similarly technology in human resource domain. So today we will discuss about the use of technology in the human resource management. Now, here digital describes a specific state of an organization, and digitalization or digital organization is a resultant concept. So when we talk about digital organization or when we talk about digital, it is a concept which is related to the organization, and hence here we need to understand that a digital organization is the result of the use of digital technologies for carrying out business. Now, digitization in turn refers to the technical conversion of analogous information into binary digits. Now, we all know that digitalization is essentially converting the analogous systems, analogous processes, analogous information into digital systems, digital processes, digital information. Now, this concept of digitalization has been used in the human resource management in different domains. The very first domain to have impact of this digitalization is the payroll. In the human resource management function, the payroll systems essentially were what you can say previously analogous. That means you maintain a ledger, you maintain the book of accounts, you maintain the registers, and then we see that at the end of the month we find out the information from that register, from that book of accounts, that for a particular employee, how many number of days was he present, how many leaves he has taken, what are the deductions, what are the statutory deduction that needs to be done, what are the other deductions, and then on the basis of all this calculation we say that this is the net salary of that particular employee at the end of the month. So all these manual calculations were being done, and then the salary was calculated, and then either it is paid in cash or it is deposited in the account of that particular employee. Now, however, when we talk about digitalization, now here we have a payroll management system wherein everything is entered into a system. So we are having a ERP system, or we have a human resource information system, HRIS, human resource information system is there in the organization, or we have a ERP system, the enterprise resource planning system in the organization, and there we have just to enter the data related to the employee. So we have to enter what is his basic salary, what are the incentives that he is getting, what are the allowances that he is getting, how many number of days he has been present, and the other data is, instead of manually entering the data from the system itself, it collects the data, it processes the data, it finds out what is the salary of this employee for a particular month, and then it is that particular salary is credited in the account of that particular employee. So we need not do all the manual processing. So that is how this particular payroll system was the first system to be digitalized. And similarly, there are other systems which can be digitalized. Now, there has also been attempts to exploit digitalization potential for strategic purposes, mainly by aligning digital technologies with functional technology. Now, there are two important aspects of this use of technology or digitalization. One is the transactional processes. That means whatever are your systems, whatever are your processes, that is your payroll, we are digitalizing a payroll system. Or you are digitalizing your performance appraisal system, or you are digitalizing your training system. You are providing online training, you are collecting the training needs online, and you are providing trainings online. So this is the transactional part. However, there is another part, that is the strategic part. And most of the time people think that digitalization of human resource management is digitalization of the payroll system, digitalization of the training and development system, digitalization of the recruitment system. Now you have e-recruitment, online recruitment, we have online training, we have online performance appraisal system. So these are the transactional parts of digitalization of human resource management. Digitalizing your payroll, digitalizing your performance appraisal system, digitalizing your training system, digitalizing your recruitment system, digitalizing your performance appraisal system. However, these are transactional in nature. The next important and higher step is that how do you integrate and how do you align your digital human resource management initiative with the digital initiatives of the organization? How do you align your human resource function with the strategy of the organization? So that is the higher level alignment. When you align your human resource systems and processes, when you align your digital human resource management system with the strategy of the organization or the digital strategy of the organization. Now every organization is now planning to go digital. It is transforming itself. There's a digital transformation. Now when the digital transformation of an organization takes place, how does the human resource management align the digital human resource management with the digital transformation of the organization? So that is the strategic level or the higher level. So there are two levels. One is at the operational level, where you digitalize your processes, your systems, and then another is at the strategic level, where you try to align your digital human resource management with the digital transformation of the organization. Now here there are some differences between the current HR delivery and the digital HR. So this is a transaction of the processes. The transactions of the processes. Here in digital HR, it is the integrated HR platform. So here we are talking about the integration of policy, process, systems, operations. Then systems with web browser access. So these are the olden things. Now here we have mobile apps. So people can access most of the human resource, what you can say, services online, and not only online, through the app. They may download the app, maybe XYZ organization, and develops its own app. And if I want to apply for a leave, I don't have to write a written application, submit it physically in the HR or the personnel office, and then I will wait whether my leave has been sanctioned or not. You can log into with the help of a mobile app, and on the mobile app you can apply for leave, and then immediately you may get a reply whether your leave will be sanctioned or not. So this is how digitalization of the human resource management systems and processes is taking place. Now paper-based forms to web forms. Now if you go late, still behind, from paperwork we have moved to web-based. Now from web-based we are moving on to a digital platform, wherein through my mobile, through my PC, through the mobile app, I can access most of the human resource services. Process-based design. Now it is human-centered, experience-driven design. So whenever I am interacting, whenever there is an interface of the employee with the HR function, now that interface should be as smooth and as easy as possible. That is what we call as user experience. How user-friendly the system and processes of digital human resource management are. How easy it is for an employee to access the different services. Now we have service level agreements in the current HR delivery system. We have service level agreements. Now here we have real time, once and done. Now at the real time, I can understand how many number of people are working, how many people are on leave. Now, previously, I need to find out that what is the total number of employees they are present today, how many are on leave. So here, that was the service level agreements. Now you can get all the information real time. You can access human resource management services real time. Now, HR and shared services centers. Previously, we have the shared services center. Now we have operation centers where different aspects of human resource management or human resource services are available. Here, previously you had periodic reports. Now you have real-time interactive dashboards. So the HR manager is sitting in the cabin and he can see the dashboard on his screen. He can see what exactly is happening in the shop floor, how many number of people are working there, how many people are on leave, what is the current situation or current level of production. For every minute, he will say that what is the production level right now. He can monitor on real time monitoring of the different aspects can be done with the help of the dashboards. The analytics, there were add-ons analytics. If you wanted to get some data, analyze that data, you need to have the analytics add-ons. However, now you have integrated analytic platforms and dashboards. Through these dashboards, you can get all the data. If you want to see how is the production going on from the beginning of the shift till the end of the shift or till now, you can get all the information, real-time information on your dashboard. So this is how the digitalization of human resource management function or domain is taking place. Now, there was one very interesting study, and that was carried out by Deloitte. And they asked the human resource managers that how important digital human resource management is for you. So here, these are the ratings. So you can see that most of the people or most of the HR managers who are working in the organization in different countries across the globe, they say that digital human resource management or digital HR is either important or very important. Now, if you see across the globes, you will find that here it is given the list importance that is given to digital human resource management according to this survey in Japan, where the percentage is 61%. The lowest percentage is 61%. Then you can see Canada 67%, United States 69%, Belgium 69%, Brazil 69%, Mexico 70%, France 70%, Germany 72%, Spain 74%, China 74%, United Kingdom 75%, Italy 76%, South Africa 80%, Australia 81%, Netherlands 82%, and if you see India, it is also 82%. Okay? The importance of digital human resource management is a trend. The HR people say that it is very important. This particular trend is very important for you. And another important aspect, if you see the map, and if you can see Indonesia. Now, if you see the last part of the slide, which gives you the continuum, where you can see 69% is North America, at the lowest end, and the highest end, it is Southeast Asia, 83%. Now, from the map, can you figure out what is the importance that is given to this digital HR in Indonesia? Can anyone figure out from this graph what is the importance that is given there? If you see the color code, green represents lower percentage and red represents the higher percentage. What can you see from this particular thing? If you can see your the map of Indonesia here, how much is the percentage, whether it is low or high? Yes, can anyone figure it out? The color code of your country? What is the rating given by the human resource managers in Indonesia regarding the importance of digital HR? So here, if you see, it is almost red. It says that it is 83%. So the human resource managers of Indonesia, they say that digital HR is very, very important for them. Now, what are the drivers of digital human resource management? Now, you know that today everyone is talking about digital HR, and digitalization is the driving force across different industries. Industries are transforming at a accelerating pace, and due to this COVID situation, there has been again a tremendous acceleration to the pace of digitalization. Organizations, those who were hesitant to make use of digital technologies, or those who were not willing to make use of technology, or those who are not willing to uh, go in for digitalization, they were forced to go for digitalization. Even small organizations who did not have any IT infrastructure, they were forced by this pandemic to adopt IT infrastructure, because physically they cannot sell their products and services. So how do you reach out to the market? So you have to adopt some sort of digital technologies. You have to adopt digitalization so that your products and services are available to the customer during the pandemic, because the customer cannot physically visit your stores. You have to make your products and services available to the customer at his doorstep. So how can that be done? It is done through digitalization of your products and services. You need to have a digital infrastructure. You need to have digital transformation in the organization. So this pandemic has accelerated the rate of digital transformation. Now, whenever we are talking about digitalization of the organization, it is not just the use of technology. We can have the best technology, but we require to transform the mindset of the people to adapt the technology. If you have the best of technology, but your people are resisting the change, resisting to adapt the technology, you cannot successfully adapt and implement that technology. So to implement that technology, there has to be a change of the mindset of the people. So you have to bring about a change in the mindset of the people, and therefore change management is one of the most important challenge to implement digital uh, transformation. Now, whether it be the public sector or the private sector, uh, you know that both the public sector as well as private sector are equally adopting digital technologies. If you understand, see the government also, all the government services, they are being provided online. That is the digitalization of the government services. Also, we are talking about the concept of e-governance, where the citizens are being provided services through the use of digital technologies. So whether you are in a government sector or public sector or private sector, here there has been or there is a digital transformation taking place. Now, what are the key challenges? Now, the first important aspect is that, you know, there has been a lot of changes that are taking place in technology. We are talking about the cyber cybernautics. We are talking about the big data. We are talking about the cloud computing. We are talking about the social media. We are talking about the mobile apps, mobile technologies. So these are the digital trends that are taking place. We are talking about the cloud. We are talking about big data. We are talking about social media. We are talking about the different types of mobile apps. And as Professor COO has already discussed, we are talking about the concept of we call as IoT, that is Internet of Things. We are talking about artificial intelligence. So AI, machine learning, IoT, these are the mega trends as far as the digital technologies are concerned. Then another important aspect is the digital workforce. Now we are dealing with a millennial workforce. Now this millennial workforce, when they were born with the mobile phone in their hands, and when they are doing any transaction, they are doing all digital transactions. So we are dealing with the employees who are very digital savvy. We are technological savvy. The boss may not be able to use the technology, but the employees are well versed in the use of technology. So we are dealing with such type of millennial workforce. We are dealing with the first generation digital citizens. So managing such workforce again is a challenge. Now, third and important aspect, very important aspect, is merging work and life with hyper-connected employees. This is one of the most important challenge. Now, whether you are at home or you are in the organization, you cannot distinguish your work life with the family life. Whenever you are at home, you are still connected with the organization. In the organization, you are connected with your family members through mobile apps. You can do mobile chatting or you can do video calling. So the difference between work life and family life is not there. Both the work life and family life have merged. Now, the employees are hyper connected. Whenever the employee is on leave or wherever he is, he's still connected with the organization. The boss still asks him, what is the status of your work? Even if it is not at work, he has to report to the status of the work that is there to his boss. So it is a very hyper connected employees. There is no distinction between work life and family life. It has merged. So therefore, this is again one of the mega challenge. Now, emergence of new set of digitally skilled employees. As we have discussed that employees are very technology savvy these days. Business model under stress from digital disruptions. Now, we should understand this important aspect that here the business models are changing. If you are not able to adapt technology, if you are not able to adapt digitalization, you will not survive, because most of the business model, the traditional business models will collapse. And if you want to survive, you have to adapt new business models, because digital disruption is taking place. Now, no one is going to bank for doing any financial transactions. Everyone is doing their transactions online, or they are doing the transaction with the help of their mobile app. If I want to transfer money, if I want to put money in my account, if I want to transfer money from my account to another account, if I want to pay the my bills, if I want to pay some money to another person, I need not go to the bank. So what will the employees in the bank do the whole day? So having huge offices for banks, that is not feasible now. You need not have a investment in the physical infrastructure. You need to have a investment in the digital infrastructure. What will happen if your app doesn't start? If there is problem in your system, your network is down, people are not able to do digital transactions, people are not able to transfer money from their account to another account. So investing in digital infrastructure for banks is more important than investing in the physical infrastructure in forms of maybe number of branches. Now you do not have to have number of branches. You need to have a investment in your digital infrastructure. You need to have apps where internet banking, mobile banking, so that people are able to access banking services from anywhere and any part of the world. So business models are now changing, and we have to understand. If the organization do not understand this business model, they will not be able to survive. Now, here the HR managers need to understand this digital transformation and should be a part of this digital transformation. Now, the main important aspect of a HR is how to integrate the workforce with the organization requirement. What are the requirements of a digital organization, and how you can create a digital workforce, a workforce which is digitally skilled. Now we are talking about the physical skills of the employees. We are talking about the psychological skills of the employees. We are talking about the technical skills of the employees. Now we need to talk about HR. Need to talk about the digital skills of the employees. You should have a digitally trained, digitally skilled workforce to support the digital organization, and how the human resource management can create a digital workforce. That is the most important what you can say, that is the most important task of a HR now. Now, how do you go towards digital HRM? How do you transform into digital HRM? Now, here the first important aspect is that you understand what is your business model and align your HR function with your business model. This is the first thing, is that you should understand your business model, organization's business model in this changing scenario, and you align your HR function with the business model of the organization. So we need to understand the strategy of the organization and how HR can help in implementing that particular strategy. Then the planning and operations. How will digital plan operate? How we will monitor that? Products or service development. Now, what are the capabilities that are required to develop a particular product or service, and how HR can help the employees, or how HR can ensure that such type of employees are available? Innovation. What are the innovation capabilities that are required for the organization in the digital era, and how the HR function can provide such type of employees in the organization? And the user experience. Now you need to understand that what are the needs and requirements of the customers, and then how you will create products and services as per the needs and wants of the customers, and how will you deliver that product and services? What are the different channels of distribution? What is the marketing mix that is required to attract customers towards your products and services? So this is how the organizations, especially the HR, needs to provide the trained workforce in all these particular aspects. Second important aspect is the digital talent lifestyle. How you are able to attract, how you are able to develop, and how you are able to retain the talent. That is another important. How you are able to attract digital talent, maintain digital talent, retain digital talent, and develop your digital talent. That is another important aspect. And then here you have to have a leadership. That is the digital leadership. Now, what are the characteristics or the skills for digital leaders? This is the last part of our presentation, that is the digital skills of the leaders. Comprehensive understanding of the digital market. Now we are talking about two markets. We are not talking about the physical market. We are not talking about the marketplace. We are talking about digital market, that is market space. You need to understand the difference between these two markets. A visionary mindset, develop solutions to potential disruptions. Now we are talking about digital disruptions. We know that when there is a digital disruptions, your business model will collapse. So we need to have a vision to emphasize, to understand what would be the business models of future. The third important aspect is that you should be a champion to promote digital initiatives in the organization. You should also have the financial acumen to understand the value and return on investment as far as the digital business is concerned. You should be very business savvy to manage cross-functional teams. You need to have the management capability to operate the digital team. Now we are talking about digital teams. You have people across the world. They are a part of a team, maybe a product development team. You have some people in one country, another people in another country. How are you going to integrate this particular team? So you need to have the management capability to effectively operate the digital team. And another important aspect is the entrepreneurial spirit, continuously innovating, continuously coming up with new products and services, and providing the best user interface and experience. These are the characteristics that are required by the leaders to bring about a digital transformation. So if we do not prepare ourselves for digital transformation, if the human resource management function does not understand these challenges, and if it does not align itself with the digital transformation of the organization, it will not be able to succeed. So if you want to succeed, we need to accelerate the pace of digital transformation. The human resource managers and the human resource function can play a very important role in providing the manpower that is required for a digital organization. And the human resource management function can help the organization by aligning its digital initiatives with the digital initiatives and strategy of the organization. Once this is done, the human resource management can play a very important role in transforming not only the human resource function, but the transformation of the organization. So this is what I have to say about digital transformation uh, and the digital human resource management. Thank you very much for your patient hearing, and I will be happy if you have any questions. I will be happy to answer your questions and queries. Thank you very much.
Alhamdulillah, thank you very much, Professor Shaikh. And for the audience, please write down your questions, and you can state your questions later on at the end of the seminar after the second presenter. Now, the second presenter we have here with us is Professor Dr. Heru Kurnianto Cahyono. The education that Professor Heru has obtained is a Master's of Management as well as a Bachelor's of Management, and his PhD from Gajah Mada University. The Master's was in Management, while his PhD is in Psychology of Human Resources and Organization. Now he has received several awards, including, for instance, the Best Lecturer in the Faculty of Economics for 2 years, and then also Best Papers in the National and International Graduate Research Conference in Konkan University, and also the Best Paper in the Fourth National Conference of Applied Business in Universitas Islam Sultan Agung, and also other awards that he has listed here. And he has also experience in quality assurance. For example, Professor Heru has training in quality assurance from Monash University, Melbourne, and from Simeo Raihat in Thailand. And he is also a certified assessor, and as well as external dissertation examiners from several universities overseas. And Professor Heru has a list of 22 international publications that he has listed here, including publications in proceedings in Malaysia, in several in Europe, and also in Nanyang University, in Taiwan, and several other publications. Aside from that, he has provided me with a list of 55 national papers that has been published in distinguished journals as well. If you need more of the list that of the publications that has been written by Professor Heru, you can ask the committee to provide it for you. And he has also been supervisors for dissertations for several students, both in Indonesia and abroad. And last but not least, he has several work experiences ranging from working experiences in several banks, in Bank Bumi Daya, in Bank BNI, also in Bank Indonesia, and also experience in other industries as well, for instance, in PT Pafros. Now, with that experience, Professor Heru has culminated his thoughts today on the leadership and positive leadership and positive organizational behavior in the context of Industry 4.0. Now, this is in line with what actually Professor Shaikh mentioned at the last part of his presentation, in which he stated that leaders should be prepared also for digital HRM. And now Professor Heru will talk more about that, especially in positive organizational behavior and how leadership manages that. For that, I would like to invite Professor Heru to give a presentation for between 20 to 30 minutes, which would be later on, there would be questions and answers at the end of the session for both of our presenters. Please, Professor Heru.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Punang Amadipuja. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And welcome to Jogja, Prof. Mohsin. Baik, thank you, Mr. Punang. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Prof. Said, welcome to Jogja, yeah, by Zoom. Okay, I think it's very interesting topic today, yeah. And Professor Said told us about today company attempts to exploit digitization for strategic purposes, yeah, and then mainly by aligning digital technology with function HR strategy. Professor said focus on strategic aspect, and I focus on behavior aspect. So how should we do? Yeah, how should we do? How do we as a leader create positive organizational behavior? And in this session, I discuss 4 metaphor from Morgan, yeah, organization as machine, and then organization as organism, and then organization as politics, and organization as a psychological present. Yeah, yeah. Okay, and we agree that digital today is impacting every industry and every organization. So in this time, I would like to speak mostly in Bahasa, and some important things, yeah, I say in English, yeah. Okay, are you happy, everyone? Okay.
Okay.
Baik. I share PPT. Okay. Today is new paradigm. Jadi paradigma kita saat ini adalah positive organizational behavior, perilaku organisasional positif. This is paradigm related perubahan yang luar biasa, yang begitu radikal. Di gambar ini kita bisa melihat, ya, tadi disampaikan oleh Profesor Said terkait dengan era VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity, sehingga berimpact pada aktivitas bisnis, ya, pada aktivitas bisnis. Lalu HR di sini seperti apa? How do we support organization? Ya? Bagaimana HR ini kemudian mendukung organisasi bagaimana kemudian HR mendukung organisasi. Nah, kita lihat perubahan yang kita alami saat ini, ya, itu seperti kejadian di kota New York, ya. Di kota New York di tahun 1904, ya. Jadi di tahun itu kita melihat bahwa masyarakat di kota New York itu masih menggunakan delman. Dan hari ini, ya, today, ya, kita melihat bahwa dari 1904 ke 1917 dalam jangka waktu hanya 13 tahun, maka kota New York dipenuhi oleh mobil-mobil. Ya, terjadi satu transisi yang luar biasa. Baik. Nah, sebetulnya era transisi itu kita alami sekarang. Jadi kita mengalami yang namanya efek dari disruptif. Seperti apa efek dari disruptif itu? Pilihan kita adalah apakah kita kaget, ya, kita terkejut, kita surprise dengan perubahan yang luar biasa itu, kita mengalami shock, ya, atau kita mau menjadi subjek, ya, HR menjadi subjek. Ya, kemudian di sini juga saya tunjukkan era perubahan dari revolusi industri 3 ke 4. Kita lihat misalnya kamera Kodak, ya. Kamera Kodak itu pernah berjaya, ya, pernah begitu berjaya di era tahun 70-an, 80-an, mungkin eranya Bu Ika waktu kecil, ya. Jadi pada saat itu kita bahkan tidak pernah berpikir bahwa kamera digital yang kamera Kodak itu akan mati, akan digeser oleh revolusi industri 4, yaitu kamera digital. Dan kita lihat sekarang Instagram tumbuh begitu luar biasa. Nah, ini kemudian menjadikan kita untuk berpikir tadi, kembali pada pertanyaan how should we do, ya. Kita harus mengembangkan kapasitas belajar, capacity to learn, and then capacity to adapt. Nah, kita lihat di sini perspektif organizational, positive organizational behavior. Leader, ya, leader dalam konteks ini adalah leader baik sebagai position maupun leader itu sebagai person. Jadi setiap orang itu adalah leader. Nah, di sini kita lihat how positivity to work, ya. How positivity works, ya. Ini muncul pertama dari level individu. Kita lihat di warna biru, hijau, dan ungu, ya. Positive emotion, mindfulness, and then psychological capital and signature strength. And 3 variable here influence positivity from person factor. Jadi setiap individu itu yang bekerja, ya, employee yang bekerja di dalam organisasi itu memunculkan emosi-emosi positif. Mindfulness, ya, dia fokus, ya, dia fokus apa yang dia lakukan pada saat itu. Kemudian psychological capital, ya, seperti optimism, and then resiliency dan self efficacy, ya. Nah, ini tiga variabel ini, ya, ini menjadi sangat penting dalam membangun positivity from person factor. Jadi setiap individu, setiap manager, setiap leader, setiap karyawan itu create positivity from person factor. Kemudian kita lihat pada organizational level, ya. Pada level organisasi, the role of leader atau peran leader di sini itu adalah menciptakan organizational culture and climate. Lalu muncullah yang namanya positivity from organization. Dan impact dari positivity from person factor dan positivity from organization itu menghasilkan positive outcome. Ini di kecilin bisa. Dibuat. Okay. Okay, next. And then we learn about happiness, yeah, happiness in organization, yeah. Based on this model, so we focus on how to create happiness and then influence others in organization. Luck, this is a consistent with, and luck and bad luck depend on where we look. Yeah, it's a matter of choice, and we just emphasize our choice. Sometimes when we say we are lucky, there is a part of us that says we are deceiving ourselves. Keep making decision to be a lucky person by being thankful. Jadi mereka yang beruntung dan tidak beruntung itu sangat tergantung pada pilihan mereka, ya. Sangat tergantung pada pilihan mereka. And then Professor Richard Wiseman here research 400 participants who are lucky and unlucky, and the result this is consistent, ya. Jadi orang-orang beruntung dan orang-orang tidak beruntung have a generic pattern, ya, punya pola yang sama. Jadi mereka yang beruntung itu antusias, ya, enthusiastic, respect, ya, and happiness, grateful, ya. This is a characteristic of lucky people, yeah, lucky people. And the other side, yeah, bad luck, yeah, usually pessimistic, yeah, not enthusiastic, sad, yeah, okay. And then the question here, why is happiness important? Why is happiness important in organization? The researcher analyzed data from Thomson Reuters database on employee relationship and the overall financial performance of 3,500 companies across 43 countries over the 12-year period to 2014. And then the data contains 5 specific aspects of workplace culture that most accurately represent how the organization treats them. Employees, this include quality of work, health and safety, training and development, and then diversity and human rights and labor law. Okay, this is the story of Chad Meng-Tan. Yeah? Chad Meng-Tan is a director of happiness in Google. Yeah? He is a strategic partner who found the technology of happiness. Yeah? Happiness is technology here. Yeah? Meng leads a grounding in awareness-based emotional intelligence training for Google employees, and we call search inside yourself. Ya. Menggali dari setiap orang. This news become a headline on the front page, the Business Week. Yeah. Okay, and then the secret of Google's happiness here. Why is Google the happiest place to work? Yeah, this is one of the secrets. The salary, yeah, of course, is very great. Yeah, big meals, 2 free snacks. Yeah, provided a nap. Yeah, in the office, and then provided various sports and games. Yeah, facilities, cool office design, lots of selfie spots, and all of the really makes working on Google fun. But there is one thing that not many people know, what makes Google become one of the happiest workplaces on the planet. Chat Meng, one of the engineers, one of the assistant at Google, yeah, he's the person who designed a program to create a happy atmosphere at Google, yeah, and the previous we call it search inside yourself. So happiness not only because something, yeah, like in extrinsic motivation, but we can elaborate our happiness based on our mindset and our soul. He initiated program for Google employees called Search Inside Yourself. Okay. Search Inside Yourself is a training to increase emotional intelligence based on mindfulness meditation. And Chat Meng Tan, the founder of Search Inside Yourself, the man who is nicknamed or the position there, Jolly Good Fellow. Yeah. He is a partner happiness for employee. And we can imagine in our organization, we have a partner, yeah, make us happy in organization. Yeah. Okay. And then, yeah, this is mindfulness. Yeah. Mindfulness is very scientific. Yeah. Mindfulness created the research in University California, Los Angeles, and then Oxford University and Cambridge University. Yeah. Research and concern about mindfulness. Mindfulness make harmony among our thing and then soul and our behavior. Ketika kita mandi ya, we feel the sensation ya, sensation, the water. We are very happy and we exit from our bathroom, we feel more happy, happier. Okay. And then this is a professional model in management education. Yeah. We adopt from ACSB Business School. There are 4 points. How do we learn? Yeah, we improve ourselves. Yeah, to support. Yeah, to support. What's that? To support the performance. Yeah, strategic goals. The first is science. Yeah. Science develop perspective and ways of thinking that are orderly, analytical, and systematic. We utilize our conscious mind. And then the second, art, soul, and craft. We utilize subconscious. Yeah. Vision, we say about where do we want to go, and soul about our heart, yeah? Spirituality here, and then craft is experience, and this produce a tacit knowledge in organization. Yeah. Okay, and so so all of HR people. Yeah, HR people in organization have abundant mindset, abundant herself, and abundant skill set. Okay. Okay, and then this is a philosophy of human. Yeah. Yeah. Philosopher from Gajah Mada told us that there are 3 layers we as human. Yeah? The first is A, or material layer, and the second is B. Yeah? B, what's that? B is instinct. Yeah? So we catch pleasure and we avoid pain. Yeah? Kita mengejar kenyamanan, kita menghindari pain. Ya. And then the C here is, what's that? Unconditional loving, silaturahmi, ikhlas. This is a C. So we do in organization not depend on instinctive. So instinctive we stress on transactional process. But C, we inspire other people in our organization. Okay, and then all of HR people increase our capacity to learn and then capacity to adapt. We become a fighter outside. Fighter outside, and inside peaceful. Fighter diligent, tough, and peaceful, be patient, So this is a model of our character, HR people, Okay, and then next slide we discuss about leader, usually if we discuss leader, this is a close relation with power and influence. And then the source of power, some leaders come from their position. And then beside that, we as a leader should improve our personal power. Position power such as a legitimate and then reward power, coercive and information power. And then personal power, the source from rational persuasion and then expert, referent and charisma. This is formal leader skills. We must develop our formal leaders here. This is a substances, and then our mindset. So we must improve multiple intelligence, not only intellectual quotient here, but emotional quotient, and then adversity quotient, and then execution quotient and spiritual quotient. Okay. If we compare between computer and we and us, computer have a operating system, and then human have a conscience, and then computer has a software device, and human has a mindset, and computer has a hard disk device and human physical, and then computer has a monitor screen and human senses, and in input side, computer use keyboard if you want to input something, and human senses, like our eye, ear, and then kinesthetic, our kinesthetic, and what's that? And the difference between computer and human, computer cannot creating program, and we can creating program in our mind. Okay. Here, brainwave management. So we learn about management brainwave, to constructing our psychological, mental, and then soft skill ya. Jadi we must know about the manual books of us ya. If we learn mobile phone, we learn we know the manual books how to operate the mobile phone, and in this context we must know how to operate ourselves ya. So today is wonderful. You are very happy, yeah, very grateful, yeah. Okay. And then this is intrapersonal leader, leading self, mindfulness, grateful, fairness, and then compassion. Yeah. And the last, yeah, you are a director. You are an actor for yourself. Yeah. So every people or every HR as a subject. HR is our partner in organization, so we can improve, yeah, encourage and motivate them. Yeah. Okay, I think that's all, yeah, for our presentation this morning. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Professor Heru, for your presentation. Now, I would like to reiterate and conclude some of the points that has been presented by Professor Shaikh as well as Professor Heru to jog our minds again so we can better relay our questions later on. Now, Professor Shaikh first mentioned about digitalization and digitization, the difference between those two concepts. And then he continued talking about the current human resources practices versus the digital human resources practices. And then he showed a map on the response of managers towards digital HR, in which Southeast Asian managers said that 93% saying that digital HR is important, and that's one of the highest in the world. And then he continued explaining about the drivers of digital HRM, the challenges of digital HRM, and provided a roadmap for digital HRM, including restructuring organization to enable digital transformation, embracing digital talent lifestyle, and empowering digital leadership. Now, from that note, it was continued by Professor Heru to talk about leadership, especially leadership and positive organizational behavior. In this second session, Professor Heru explained about disruption and how it made a lot of people in shock because there were many changes in this disruptive era. And because of that, positivity is very important, as well as thankfulness. And several others were mentioned as well. For instance, happiness, which is well practiced in the Google case study, and then mindfulness. In addition, he explored the need for being an exponential person in which we have an abundance in mind, heart, and skills, and the need for a character which is being a fighter in the outside and being peaceful inside. And at the end, Professor Heru explained how the leader could influence the organization in terms of two types of power, in terms of position power and personal power. Now, we have several questions actually already in the chat room. So I'll start with the questions in the chat room first. These questions are for both Professor Heru and Professor Shaikh. Okay. So the first question, I'll read three questions first, and then I would invite our distinguished speakers to provide their comments. The first, from Ahmad Yusron. He mentioned that in Indonesia's history, Indonesia is oppressed by the Dutch, And the mindset is still very much embedded, the mindset as a colony. And it has to be adjusted in order to be able to prepare for the digital era. So what's the solution, he asked. That's the first question. And the next question from Bimo Widyo. This is for Professor Heru. Okay. Oh, sorry. This is just a comment. Okay. And then for Professor Shaikh from Mudiono about the impact of combining work and life with employees to improve performance. Can Professor Shaikh mention and talk more about that? And one more question first for this first round about the pattern probably in the relationship between employer and employee in the future. Do they work as partners in the organization, or are they still employees in the traditional sense? Okay, so these are the three questions. I would like to invite Professor Shaikh first to answer these questions and comments. Please, Professor Shaikh. So the question for Professor Shaikh, specifically, was about the impact of combining work and life with employees to improve performance. Okay, Professor Shaikh, can you understand? Can you hear the question?
Yes, yes.
Yep. Okay.
The question, as I understand, is regarding combining the work life and the family life. Now, first, we need to understand that everyone is talking about work-life balance. Now, there has to be a balance between your work life and your family life. That means that when you are doing your work, you should not neglect your family. And secondly, is that you should also not neglect your work when you are giving time to your family. So we have to balance the work life as well as the family life. And this work-life balance, what we are talking about, is basically different for each employee. Each employee has specific needs of his family. The needs of the family of each employee is different. For example, a person, some person may have no problem in working at night shift in the organization. However, there are certain employees who will not like to work in the night shift because of some family commitments, family reasons. So we need to find out that what suits best for a particular employee. For example, some employee may be okay with having a weekly off on Sundays, but for some employee, if you provide a weekly off on Friday, that will be more beneficial for him. So what we need to do is, an organization needs to understand the specific requirement of the employee and then try to come up with certain policies which will help the employee in maintaining a healthy balance between the family life and the work life. For example, giving him the option of selecting the shift or the timings. For some people, if they come early and they go back early to home, the rest of the time they can manage the work. Or for some people, they say that in the morning we will do our household work, and at the afternoon that will be easy for them. So the timings of the shift, there are many organizations who have flexi timing, that your work is of 8 hours, you select if you want to come at 7 in the morning and then do 8 hours work, or if you want to report at 10 o'clock in the morning and do a 8-hour work, or you report in the afternoon at 2 o'clock and complete your 8-hour work. That is the first, flexi time. Second is the weekly off. Now, there are many organizations who have decided that Sunday is not the standard weekly off. You can take a weekly off on any weekday. You can take a weekly off on Monday. You can take a weekly off on Friday. You can take a weekly off on Thursday. So depending upon the need of the employee. So there are some employees who will take a weekly off on Sunday, some on Friday, some on Monday. So that is another option that the organization can give, and many organizations are giving this option. The third is that they can also opt for work from home. Now in the pandemic, we have seen that almost all of us were forced to work from home. So these are the certain options which an organization can provide. Flexible timings, choosing the weekly off, allowing people to work from home. So these are some of the policies which an HR can come up with so that they will be able to address the issue of work-life balance. And that is how the employees can concentrate on their work and also on their family. And they can bring about a right, healthy balance between these two. Professor, your mic is on mute mode. We are not able to hear you.
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. The second question could be answered by both Professor Shai and Professor Heru. So there's a question from Julita Dewayani on the interaction or the relationship between employer and employee in the future. Would it still be the same like now, or would it be more of a partner relationship between employer and employees?
Okay, I'll just answer in a few sentences. Now, there was one very interesting case regarding the employer-employee relationship. There was one case in the court in UK. The employees of Uber, you know, these Uber, just like we have here Gojek and other things, Uber. Now, whether these employees who are driving, especially the drivers of the cars of Uber, whether they are employees of Uber or not, that was the question. Are they their employees? What is the relationship between Uber and those people who are driving the cars? And then there was a debate, and Uber said that we are not a direct employer. We are not employing these people. We are just a service provider. We are an aggregator. We just have a service which brings the customer and the drivers together. We are not the employer of this particular drivers. We don't employ them. We just provide a platform where these two people come together. So now in future, if you see, there will be no direct employer-employee relationship. Now there can be some sort of partnership, or there can be some sort of indirect relationship between the employer and employee. So you cannot claim Uber. You cannot claim that you are an employee of a Uber just because you are using a Uber platform and you are there. So the digital platform. Now we are talking about digital transformation. When we are talking about digital transformation, the concept of employer-employee relationship will cease to exist. There will be no direct employer-employee relationship. There will be a client-customer relationship. There will be a what you can say, some sort of partnership. There will be some sort of client-customer relationship, and that will be no long-term relationship. All will be contractual. All would be short-term. All would be related to a specific task, specific purpose. So if you read Alvin Toffler way back in the 60s and 70s, he told about what will be the future work. If you read his novel, he has written a very good novel called The Future Shock, The Third Wave and the Future Shock. He describes in detail what could be the employer-employee relationship in future. So I don't think that there will be a direct employer-employee relationship. It will be a contractual relationship between two parties.
Okay, thank you, Professor Shai. Prof. Heru, do you have any comments on that? The relationship between employer and employee in the future?
I think Google is
Mute.
okay. Thank you for the question. I think Google is one model uh, how the company maintain and improving employee and organization. Um, Google make engagement between people and between employee and employer not only based on transactional process. Yeah, uh, previous we thought about the wage salary not only there, but Google developed uh, or encourage employee as a subject in the organization in the company. So Google hire Chapman Tan and it's famous. We know search inside yourself here. So we learn, we elaborate, and then we utilize ourselves, yeah, our mindset, soul, and we engage in our work. Yeah, we work based on we are as a subject. I think in the future, engagement not only based on the transactional, yeah, input and outcome from organization and input from employee. Yeah, the issue here is fairness, but fairness is important. This is necessary here. But if we want to improve more, so uh, Google give example how do we search inside ourselves. I think this is one model for the future. Yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, and the third question was about the mindset of being a colony. Indonesia has been a colony of the Dutch, for instance. That mindset, how can we erase and change that into a mindset that's more prepared for the digital era?
Yeah, I think it's the fact, the data report that our self-efficacy in Southeast Asia include a lower for a youth generation. So this is our agenda to improve our self-efficacy. How do we look at us? Yeah, what about you are what you think. You you are what you think. We must change our mindset. Not only not only quote and quote inlander mentality. Yeah, but we must increase. We are same or similar, same with other people in other countries. This is the consequences of globalization. Globalization, for example, Bantul. Bantul is overseas from Tokyo. Tokyo look at us as a foreigner. So the important here is we must increase our self-efficacy and utilize our mindset. Yeah, and then we must change our thinking. Yeah. So start from there. We can improve our performance. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Puna.
Thank you. Professor Saif, do you have anything to add on that question?
Now, many people.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Many people.
right.
They give this excuse of mindset. For example, India was ruled by the Britishers for maybe for 40 to 50 years. Now we have a mentality. Almost all African countries were the colonies of French or Portuguese or Dutch. Indonesia, again, they say that was a colony of Dutch. And we have that particular mindset that we were ruled by others. And therefore, we don't have the capability to lead. We should come out from this particular thinking, this particular mindset. And we should have confidence in ourselves. We should have pride in our own nation. We should be proud of our nation. We should be proud of our nationality. And we should think that we are capable as anyone in the world. And therefore, if you have a feeling of nationalism, feeling of pride that you are an Indonesian or you are an Indian or you are any other citizen of any other country, you can do anything that you want to. So we should come out of this such type of mindset.
Okay, thank you, Professor. I hope Mr. Ahmad Yusron, Mr. Mudiono, and Ibu Julita is satisfied with the answers there, because we do have quite a lot of questions that I would like to invite people to pose. So from Muhammad Abu Jahid, would you like to pose your question directly, sir?
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to ask the question. This is Muhammad Abu Jahid, the first international student in doctoral management. I would like to ask Dr. Mohsin Sheikh, and first I would like to thank him to present nicely about the digitalization of human resources. My question is that how we can reduce the unemployment rate when we go for digitalization. And second one is that how we can reduce the unhealthiness of using the digital devices. And I have one question, that is the how we can use the emotion of the employees in the industry so that we can use the power of the employee. So this is the three questions. So they're both presenters. Thank you very much. And I'm really grateful to join with you and learning from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Muhammad Abu Jahid. Now, these three questions, I think we can directly answer. Maybe Professor Sai first,
Yeah.
continued by Professor Heru after that.
Yes. Now, his three questions were regarding unemployment, regarding the unhealthy impact, and third was on emotions. I'll come to the first question of Mr. Muhammad Abu Jahid. You know, whenever we are adopting any technology, the technological change always lead to a change in the composition of the workforce. It may not necessarily reduce unemployment, or it may not lead to unemployment. It will just change the composition of the workforce. So whenever a new technology is there, for example, I'll continue with the Uber, Gojek, and other type of thing. See the number of people who are employed as drivers. See the number of sales of the cars has increased. See the number of youths who have got employment. So whenever you say that technology not necessarily reduces unemployment. It changes the composition of employment. So we need to prepare ourselves. If you want to reduce the unemployment rate, we need to skill up. We need to skill our youths in the upcoming technologies so that whenever there are technological opportunities, we can make use of this opportunity. So the solution for this particular unemployment is skilling. We should skill the youth. The second is related to harmful effect of the electronic devices. Now, we know that the exposure, our exposure to the electronic devices has increased. The exposure to the computer screen, the exposure to the mobile phones, the exposure to other electronic devices in and around us, the radiations, harmful radiations due to the mobile towers, to the electricity towers, and due to all these, what you can say, electronic gadgets that you are using, The first important aspect is that this has become a necessity. You cannot say that I will not use computers. You cannot say I will not use mobile phone. That has become a part of our life. However, one important aspect is that we should make use of them only when required, only when necessary. Unnecessarily just playing video games on the mobile, unnecessarily seeing movies or other things on your laptop. So you should reduce all those unnecessary activities. And plus, there are certain protocols, safety measures which needs to be followed. For example, when you are using the screen, you can put a screen guard on your laptop, on your desktop, so that the harmful radiations that reaches your eyes can be reduced. Or you can wear a goggle which has the screens which can reduce the incoming rays. As far as mobiles, keep your mobiles at a distance. Whenever you are taking a call, you should not put it very close to your ears. Maintain a distance. So these are some of the safety precautions that we can take. So this is how you can reduce the harmful effect. First, reduce the use only when it is necessary, and second is that you follow all the safety precautions. The third important question that you raised is the emotions. How you need to make use of your emotions so that the employees are happy and they are more productive. So the organizations, and especially this is not just the job of a HR department or HR manager. The first thing is that you should create a culture in your organization. Create an organizational culture where employees feel motivated, employees feel happy, that employees, they want to go to work. So create an organizational culture where you value human beings, where there is dignity of work, where you value each individual, where you value the opinion of each and every individual. For example, Professor Hiru was talking about Google. Now, Google is trying to come up with different policies. It is not just tit and bits of policy. It is trying to create a organizational culture, a culture where employees are valued, a culture where employees' opinions are respected. So, if you create that organizational culture, then the employees will be motivated, happy, satisfied, and more productive. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I find the two questions here. The first is how emotion of employees can be used by the digitalization, and the second, what should the organization do to help the employee gain competences and develop their mindset from fixed mindset to growth mindset? Okay. Um, Emotion, yeah. Emotion here, we know positive emotion and negative emotion. Positive emotion help us to uh, apa, we make the relation very good with organization and support organization and increase our performance in organization. And negative emotion, for example, new technology we adopt new technology in our organization. But the problem, maybe not many people uh, accept the new technology. Maybe they worry about the technology. We feel we don't understand how to use the technology. So it means it happened resistant to change, yeah, resistant to change. So the agenda from management, I think socialization is very important here. Socialization, and then education and training. Maybe our employee doesn't know how to operate the new technology, and then counseling, yeah, to improve their mentality related the new change in our organization. So management can identify, yeah, at least mental problem here, and then technical problem, and maybe related welfare, yeah, because the change in organization make the people feel lost. Yeah, feel lost. Yeah. So I think this is very important for leader how to manage the changing, manage change in organization. Okay, I think there is some agenda, Pak Punang. Thank you, Pak Punang. Yeah. She's my student in dissertation.
Pak Punang masih di mute.
Sorry, the last question, I'm sorry because we have limited time left. The last question is from Bu Reni Herawati. Could you directly ask your question, Bu Reni?
I think you should unmute first, Burani.
Okay, thank you very much for the time. Yeah, my questions goes to Professor Dr. Mohsin. Yeah, when organizations struggle hard to optimize their team for digital transformation, the problem is not only competencies, but also the mindset of people. Yeah, many people have fixed mindset. They don't want to change. They don't want to transfer to digital management. My questions is, what should the organization do? Yeah, to help the employee gain competency and develop their mindset. And which is the priority? Develop the competencies first or change the mindset? Yeah, that is my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Burani. And sorry, I'd have to add one more question from Bimo, but would you like to mention your Silakan Pak Bimo, pertanyaan terakhir.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity, Pak Punang. I want to ask this simple question for Mr. Shaikh. As you know, as you said that the earlier that digital you have said that the digital have lives entered to all organization processes, including digital transformation, digital information, and digital organization, and other. And as we know that the use of technology today is very imperative. Yeah, you know, uh, everybody has used the technology, and according to that, how I want to ask Mr. Shaikh how we do manage this resource, this weak resource, in order to be efficient and effective for the organization. Maybe thank you.
Maybe first, Professor Sai.
Okay. Yeah, I'll come to the question of Ms. Reni Herawati regarding competencies, developing competencies and mindset. The first important aspect is that people, when they have a certain fixed mindset, it is very difficult to change their mindset. For any successful implementation of any idea, process, or any particular concept, the first thing is that we need to change their mindset. Now, how to change the mindset? Because people are very rigid in their thinking. Some people, they do not want to accept change. They do not want to change. Now, they will also not want others to change. Now, the thing is that first thing is that we need to create an awareness about what we are going to implement. You are going to implement digitalization. Create awareness about digitalization. Tell them what are the advantages of digitalization. Tell them that if you don't go for digitalization, what will be the disadvantages? Address the issues, the personal issues, that if you do not go for digitalization, you may lose your job. You may not get promotion. You may not, there may be a salary cut. So when it comes to the particular individual, how he will be affected, he will not resist. So creating awareness and telling him the pros and cons. If you do this, if you support this, this is how you will benefit. If you oppose this, this is how you will, there will be negative consequences. The first thing, that is changing the mindset. Now, your second question was regarding what should be done, whether we should go for first mindset or competencies. The first important aspect is first change the mindset of the employees, and then you go on developing their competencies. Yeah. You identify that what would be the competencies that will be required for them to work in a digital environment, and accordingly try to come up with a development plan. Go for an individual development plan, go for the organizational development plan, and come up with certain interventions, come up with certain training and development interventions which will develop the competencies of the employees. And once the employees gain confidence, where they have the competencies, then there will be no resistance. They will change their mindset.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Very clear explanation.
Thank you, Prof. Sai, for the answers. I would like to invite Prof. Heru to give a short answer as well.
Okay, Bu Reni, short answer for you related changing in organization. Yeah, manager should consider about structure and the technology and then people. Yeah, and people here, I agree with you that we start from our mindset. So awareness, yeah, and understanding, involvement. This is a make the high level of involvement to support organization if they understand and aware about the question why we must change here. Okay, I think that's for you. That's it. Yeah. Thank you, Bu Reni.
Thank you very much, Prof. Heru.
And now can I request everyone to turn on the cameras, because we are going to take a picture together. Okay. Because in a while, Professor Heru has to leave us, so I would like to take a picture together. Okay, because there are many participants, so we'll have to take pictures of 4 pages. So just wait a while and keep smiling. Oke, 4 kali ya. Kalau sudah bilang ya, Mas. Sudah? Okay. Thank you very much. So Professor Heru has to leave us now. So thank you, Prof. Heru. And was Mr. Bimo's question already answered? Pak Bimo sudah terjawab pertanyaannya atau belum tadi ya?
Not yet. How can we manage the resources in order to be efficient and effective for the organization? Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have anything to add on this question, Prof. Saik?
Now what is happening is, now since many organizations are going for digitalization, the question is that they need to invest in the digital infrastructure. For example, if you want your employees to work from home, so you need to provide them resources to work from home. For example, the question comes about the connectivity. The questions come related to the devices. So you need to provide them the devices. You need to provide them the connectivity. You need to have a digital infrastructure in your organization. How are you going to monitor these employees? So we need to have systems. We need to have processes. We need to have a digital infrastructure. And for that, we require money. We require investment. So investment is required for creating a digital infrastructure. And once the digital infrastructure is in place, now initially the investment will be more, but over a period of time, you will get a more return on your investment, because you need not invest once the investment is done in this particular infrastructure, you can use it for a longer time period. So the first important aspect is that in the initial phase, you need more resources. In the initial phase, you require investment, but over a period of time, you will get much more return on your investment if you invest in this digital infrastructure. If you don't invest in the digital infrastructure, then you will be out of business. So it is better to invest rather than be out of business.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Sai. There's one urgent question from Mr. Zain Ali. Is it okay for Professor Sai?
Yeah, no problem. No, we can take.
Thank you. So, Mr. Zain Ali, could you pose your question, please?
Okay, thank you to give me this opportunity. And then I'm following you from Sudan. And then my question is, why African is still doesn't using the digital HRM as Mr. Mahmoud shows before a while? This is really most important question, I think, to the African people. As you know, just following you from Sudan. So that's why I said it's the most important to us. So why all the countries around the world are using the digital HRM except the African countries? I hope you answer this question, and then thank you to give me this opportunity.
Thank you. Please, Professor Sai.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Zain Ali, for joining us from Sudan. I have been to some of the African countries, especially I was in Rwanda, which is near Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, and other African countries. And I have find that the government there is very keen to invest in digital technologies. The government is very keen in having a information technology infrastructure in their country. And as far as Sudan is concerned, I have no idea regarding the level of digitalization there, or the level of technology or IT infrastructure that is developed in the country. The first important aspect for any organization to use a digital human resource management is that there has to be some digital infrastructure in place in the country itself. So it is the duty of the government to invest in digital infrastructure. So, for example, they should provide the basic communication facilities. There has to be a good communication network. There has to be a good telephone services, there has to be a optical fiber network in the country, so which can support digital technologies. So the first important aspect is the government should invest in creating a digital infrastructure so that the companies can make use of it. Now the companies on their own cannot invest because the investment in creating a digital infrastructure is very high. So the basic services, the telephone services, mobile services should be updated by the government. They should provide 3G technology, 4G, 5G technology people are talking about. So that should be first developed by the government, and next it is the organizations who can, then make use of digital infrastructure. Now it may so happen that the business, what you can say, the culture, the business culture in the African countries is such that there has not been much integration of the African countries with the rest of the world as far as the business is concerned, and maybe they find no need to go for digitalization. However, what I think is the solution for this is the government should invest in the creating an IT infrastructure, and the organization should also take the initiative, and they should also implement digital HRM, or they should be ready for the digital transformation. Because in the long term, if they want to survive in business, they have to adapt to technology, and they have to bring about a digital transformation. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for them to survive. And if you are having digital infrastructure, you can, have your business across the African continents and across other countries also. Thank you.
Thank you is vivid and clear explanation. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you all participants for the great questions, and thank you, of course, our distinguished speakers, Professor Shaikh and Professor Heru Kurnianto Cahyono. Now we have reached the end of our seminar, and I hope we have learned a lot today about digital human resources management, as well as on how to lead the initiatives of digitalization in human resources management.
Punang Ismoyo from Bali is raising his hand.
Oh,
can you see that? Sorry.
Right. Oh, yes. Okay. So, do we still have time for one more, Professor Sai?
Okay, we'll take it. No problem.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Please, can you pose your question? Our participant from Bali.
Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
I'm a new student and I live in Bali, and I have some companies, and I have a problem, Prof. Heru. Some of our employees are the old generation, and the other is the young generation. The good thing for the old generation is the attitude, the habit, they are very good. But the weakness of the old generation is they cannot follow the new era of the digital. But the young generation is very good for the follow the digital business, but very difficult to manage them because the attitude, the habit is very bad. How to merge the two of the group so we can still run the business very well. Thank you, Prof. Heru.
Okay. Prof. Sai, since Prof. Heru
Prof. Said also.
Yes.
Please, thank you.
So I would like Prof. Sai, if it's okay, you can answer the question as well.
Okay. Now, the problem which he is facing, this is the problem that is faced by many organizations. When we have a different groups of employees working, so you have the older generation people working in the organization, we have a new generation or the millennials who are working in the organization. So the value system of both the employees is different. The motivation for joining the work for both the type of employees is different. Now, you rightly said that the older employees are maybe more committed, more loyal, and more experienced. However, when it comes to the adoption of digital technologies, or when it comes to change, they are resistant to change. Now, there are two reasons why they are resistant to change. First important aspect is they don't find any need to change. And the second important aspect is that they have to learn new skills, which they are very reluctant. So what we need to do is that we need to create an awareness among this older generation employees that look, you are a committed employee, you are a loyal employee, and if you want your organization to grow, if you want your organization to survive in this digital era, in the age of digital disruptions, we need to change, or we need to adapt these technologies, and you also need to uh, you know uh, update yourself with the new technology. So creating an awareness among these employees and then building their competencies is one part. The second is for those employees who are the youngsters, the millennium employees. Now, these are the employees who are naturally very technology savvy, tech savvy employees. However, when it comes to the commitment and employer loyalty, their level of commitment and their loyalty may be less. Now, we should understand that gone are the days of employer loyalty. If you do not provide the right environment, if you do not provide them growth and learning and opportunities, they will not stay longer with you. So for such type of employees, you should prepare a clear cut, a career development path. That look, if you stay in an organization for 1 year, you join as a trainee. In 1 year, you become maybe a assistant manager. Another few years, you become a deputy manager, then a full-fledged manager. So you have to have a career path for them. They want more autonomy. They want career growth. So if you understand the need of both the employees and provide them, I think that you will be able to solve your problem.
Okay, thank you, Professor Shai. So there are more questions actually, but the questions for Professor Heru, the specific questions for Professor Heru can later on be asked directly to Professor Heru. Now, I think all the questions for both speakers have been finalized, and it has been a great seminar, very informative, and it enriches our understanding of human resources management. And I think it has enlightened us in terms of the need for digital human resources management. Thank you very much for our distinguished speakers, Professor Dr. Mohsin Shaikh and Professor Dr. Heru Kurnianto Cahyono. Thank you very much for the management of the doctoral program of Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta, Professor Siswoyo and Dr. Ika Nurul Komari. Thank you very much for the committee also as well. And before closing, I would like to invite Professor Siswoyo to give his closing speech. Please, Professor Siswoyo Haryono.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Punang, for the closing statement. So before we close this international seminar, so I would like to thank you, and I don't want to summarize, so everyone has to summarize by their own or by his own or her own. So because it's already almost a Zuhur prayer, so let's we close this seminar. Hopefully we could meet again on in a next seminar series, management seminar series for PhD in management program. And the closest or the nearest program is on February 20th. So we invite everyone to join in public lecture with the title is systematic review article, yeah, how to prepare and what is the trick and tips for the systematic review article on February 20th. This program is the opening lecture for this coming semester. So we will also welcome for the 5th batch, yeah, of our PhD in management program. Okay. Oh yeah, I I regret for the first opening speech I did not mention Dr. Ika. So Dr. Ika Nurul Komari is the secretary of PhD in management program. Okay, Bu Ika, I'm sorry. So I introduce you right now. Okay, let's we close the Pak Bimo. Thank you, Pak Bimo, for very curious participation in this seminar and for everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, Abu Jahid, yeah, thank you for everyone, yeah, for everyone.
Thank you very much, Prof.
Okay, so let's close, especially for Professor Mohsin Sheikh from IMS Pune, India. So we hope and pray the pandemic or the outbreak will be overcome soon, so we can meet as visiting professor to Jogja, not in Zoom, but you really welcome to Jogja as well. Okay.
Inshallah. Meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, and we close together with Hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih.
Waalaikumsalam.
Terima kasih Pak
Thank
Unang.
you very much.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum, makasih. Salam kenal semua.
Assalamualaikum.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Nice to meet you all. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
awal Pak, dari 2013 sampai kamu membantu saya. Saya juga diarahkan. Ambil apa? Kualitatif atau kuantitatif? Kalau saya ini satunya kuantitatif di perusahaan saya sendiri.